Mchangizi here with your science moment. At the moment, if you're really worried about COVID, you show that you're a clean person, you're a member of the clean club by wearing a mask, potentially a double mask, potentially N95. But in the future, if things go the direction they're going, the folks who are wearing masks are going to be the folks that are opposed to masks. It's going to be the other way around. The people who are really worried about COVID being a disproportionate threat to society are going to be the people that are naked-faced. Only they are allowed to show their private part, their face. And it's not a private part for them at all. But for those who are unclean, and they have to wear the mask. So how is this transition going to happen? How is it going to be the case that the folks that are wearing masks and double masking will suddenly transition to be the folks that are not? Well, it's for this sort of reason. As we talked about it in the most recent science moment, vaccinations, although they work, although they're not for everybody, and there's no reason for everybody to take them necessarily, but they nevertheless function, as opposed to masks, which don't. Masks nevertheless psychosocietally work because they provide a signal that I'm part of the clean club. I'm participating in this sort of clean club and part of the membership. But vaccines don't provide any signal that you took a vaccine, whereas passports can. They can either show that you have the vaccine by virtue of showing the passport, or the mere fact that you're in the store or the restaurant or wherever it is a signal that you must have the vaccine because you wouldn't be allowed otherwise. But those who don't have the vaccine, well, they're going to have to continue wearing masks. If you're allowed into society at all, once vaccine passports are up and running, and that's a big if, then you're going to be required to wear a mask. This has already been happening in schools. Kids in some places are going to be allowed to go maskless if they're vaccinated, but otherwise they have to wear a mask. Now, the signal of being a part of the clean club is that you can actually show your face. If you're part of the unclean, you shouldn't even show your face. For an unclean person, an unvaxxed person, an unclean person to show their face would be like showing a private part. This is how the transition will occur. And this is not only a transition that will occur, it already has occurred, both in terms of some of these schools that are trying to demand this, and also 3 years ago in Ontario, a previous kind of case. Nurses who didn't want to get vaccinated for flu were being required to wear a mask, and other nurses that did get vaccinated didn't have to. And that was taken to court. In fact, my side of this case won, so that they in fact didn't have to wear masks if they weren't vaccinated. But this is the same kind of trend. Right now, everybody who has masks, it's very dystopian, and all of these people are saying, yes, we want to be clean, and we want to be clean, but deep down inside, they don't want to wear these masks, and it's going to switch over. The only people that will be required to wear the masks are those of us that are most determined to fight them, because we're the sorts of folks, the unclean folks, that ought to have to wear them. And that was your science moment.